Alright, we have hooked onto something. Fight's a little strange. What do we got? Squire. There we are, guys. Open the account with the Squire. Not a big one, but we're off the donut. We'll unhook this guy, get it back in the water, get the Trans Am back out there and see what else is around. I've just switched over to a 4-inch bait junkie grub. 3/8 3/0 jig head. Just nice small little lifts with it, nice and slow. Keep it along the bottom. I don't go too high up with it. Visibility's pretty low. So I just want it crawling along the bottom pretty much. Not doing a whole lot. But the more that jig head hits the bottom, the easier the fish will be able to find it. So when you're working your lure, always make sure it gets back to the bottom. You want it thumping into the bottom to put out that vibration so the fish can track it down a bit better. Sun's just starting to creep up there behind that hill, which is nice. That should warm things up. Hopefully the fish warm up a bit. A bit slow at the moment. I think they're still waking up. Even though there was some activity on the sounder, there wasn't much going on the lures, not many bites at all. So time for a change. Hopefully change of luck once we move spots. Rightio, new spot. Didn't mark up many bait fish. Seen a couple of small fish on the screen. I'll have a cast at them first around a little bit of structure. If I don't do any good there, I'll move on. Or I'll try the bait junkie grub again. Hopefully get a bit of action down this end. I haven't seen a lot yet on the screen to make me think it's going to be worthwhile staying. It's always good to have a couple of casts but around little rock piles and things like that, just in case there's a couple of resident flatties sitting down there. You never know. You never know unless you cast. This will probably be one of the last trips in this small boat, I think. It'll be up for sale soon. We've got a new work boat coming, so I won't be able to fit the work boat and this boat in the garage. So sadly, the run of this little Explorer will come to an end for me. So I'll enjoy maybe the last trip out in it today. Not 100% sure, but it's probably either this one or one more and that'll be it. Be sad to see it go, but like I said, I can't fit two boats in the shed and I'll have the work boat there to use anyway. So there's no point really keeping it. Right now, let's get back into this fishing. Try and get some fish in this boat. Rightio. I thought a squid had it at first and dropped off it. Then a fish has jumped on, which is much better. What do we got, flatted? Yeah, a little flatty. Awesome. And he comes. There we go. Little flatty. Move paid off. Not a big fish, but that'd be a legal fish. Not keeping anything today, so won't waste too much time. We'll let it swim off, fight another day. Yeah, mate, off you go. Rightio, another fish. Get the head mount on. They grabbed it right at the top of the lift. Absolutely no idea what this could be. Not sure if it's a flathead, brim or a squire. No, my luck's probably none of those three. I'm always good for a missed call. What do we got? Nah, it is a little squire. Well, not little, he's a decent size. I'll probably get the net for this one. Well, a change of spots paid off pretty good. That's a nice little pinky there on that 4-inch bait junkie grub. Absolutely pumped with that. That's unreal. Righto, we'll get this lump back in the water and we'll get back out there. And he's just cruising around the top, just trying to orientate himself. You coming back to say good day, are ya? How cool is that? It's just cruising around the top. He's starting to go down now. See ya, mate. There he goes, off into the depths. Oh, swimming back over this way. Oh, there he goes. I was just replying to someone's message on Instagram. I had the rod between my legs there holding it. I had both hands on the phone and I felt the rod pulling. A flatty's just picked up this grub, dead set, sitting on the bottom. You wouldn't read about it. I'd say no doubt he swallowed this grub down. Just sucked it up off the bottom. Oh, how funny is that? Well, I think it's a flatty anyway. That's what it feels like. Nothing but luck with that. Not even working the lure. Yeah, I can't go real hard on it. Bait junkie grub going off. I guess just wafting around on the bottom there, that little bit of current that runs over, it's probably enough to get the tail going. It doesn't take much movement in the water for the tails to work. It's so soft and supple. Where is it? There we go. You can see a bit further down in the water now, which is nice. What a belter. Unreal. There she is. Absolute beauty of a flatty. Just teabagging the lure across the bottom, writing a message. Oh, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. What a beautiful fish. Bait junkie grub, 4-inch in its mouth. Unreal. Righto, big girl, we'll get you back in the water. Thanks for the fight. We'll send her off so someone else can catch her. Rightio, about a millisecond after I turned the camera off, I've hooked up onto another flathead. It's not a big flatty, not like the last one. It's still decent, it feels legal. I'll sling that one straight in, I think. They're absolutely scoffing this grub down at the moment. That's the last one of that I've got anyway, last in that colour. I've got a couple of other 4-inch, just different colours. How are you, buddy? Been better? Let's send you back out there. Well, it's certainly good to be catching fish, but whether you get them or not, it's still unreal to be out on the water fishing. So relaxing. So calm out here right now. Not many boats. The lightest breeze. Sun's out. Definitely a bonus when they bite. But it's just always nice to be here. Having a go, trying your luck. We might be able to pull a couple more good fish, who knows? Time will tell. Right, so it's just before 9 o'clock. Got into a couple of nice fish so far. Started out slow, but definitely starting to pick up a little bit. As that sun gets a bit higher and a bit brighter, probably will slow up again. No clouds in sight so far. Well, not up high anyway. Let's go down the back. Might have a look around for some bait, see if we can find a couple of jewies on the sounder around some bait balls. Have a crack at them. Right, I pulled up to a new spot. Couldn't mark any bait fish as I was cruising around, so I've just stopped at a couple of cockle beds. I'll give them a shot and see if there's any resident flatties or anything here. And if I don't do any good in 15 here, I'll probably go around the Wangi area, have a bit of a look that way and see what happens. Alright, on another fish. Just switched over to a blade, picked up a flatty in amongst all the weed there. Come here, mate. He's not a very big fish. We should just be able to shake him off. I'll get the pliers. There you go. Unconventional, but got the result. Last cast in this spot, I think. Then I might motor off back into the deep, just down a little bit further. Try and find bait again. If I can't find it, we'll go up around Wangi way, see what's happening up there. It's been pretty dead bait-wise so far down here. Hardly any white bait in sight. So I'll try one more spot, have a bit of a cruise around. If there's no bait there, I won't even bother fishing. But we'll see what happens, so hang about. As you can see, guys, not a whole lot going on the sounder. So I think I'm going to change areas completely. Hopefully have better luck finding some bait fish. Righto, just motoring along. I'm going to show you a little bit of structure that I look for when I'm out fishing. Just some good areas to find some fish. Most of the places I like to fish, I either look for broken bottom, wrecks, cockle beds, or bait fish, that sort of stuff. You can see some bait fish around the bottom there. So there's a bit of bait there, a couple of fish. That's worth a cast, that's for sure. I'll turn this boat around and get a lure in the water. So plenty of activity down there. We'll get a lure out, see if we can pick up a fish. Righto, we'll give the bloodworm colour a shot. The other one's getting a bit flogged out. They were starting to pull the plastic off the back. So we'll switch it out, give this one a go. I'll have to go and buy some more of that colour, it's working pretty good. I'm only giving the grub slow lifts. Nothing crazy. Hopefully I can see it down there. There we go. Oh. So something grabbed hold of its tail. Probably a chopper. Good boy. Oh well, fish on the bloodworm anyway. See what it is. What have we got, a brim? Oh, there you go. Brim on the bloodworm grub. Not afraid to take a big lure, that's for sure. That's the 4-inch grub there. No, the brim's not that much bigger. See ya, mate. Pretty sure I got a squid on here, on the blade. Definitely feels squid-like. Yeah, there we go. Young fella will be cheering. There you go, Oscar. There's a squid for your dinner, mate. Rightio, we've just hooked up on the blade. Not overly big, little flatty. How are you today, sir? Let's get that hook out, get you back in the water. Well, this little fella might be possibly the last fish caught in this boat. What do you reckon, mate? Happy with that? We'll have 1 or 2 casts and we'll get out of here, I think. Go back and do a bit of a walkthrough on the tinny. Off you go, mate. Yeah, it's a really nice day out here, but I've got stuff I've got to do at home. I've got to swap this boat over back for the work boat. So yeah, can't stay out too long. That might actually be the last fish caught in the tinny. It's had a good run over 5 years, this boat. It's caught some fish, let me tell you that. I'll put in another couple of casts anyway, see if we can get another one. And I'll give you a walk through of the boat when I get back to the ramp. Right guys, made it back to the ramp. Let's have a quick look at this boat. So that's it there. It's a Quintrex 390 Outback Explorer, 21 model. It's got a 25 Yami on it, 4-stroke. Electric start, trim and tilt. You can see the custom decks I've put in it. So I fully carpeted all the hatches, the thwart seats, and I put in an extra deck just in the front here. I put a lot more storage underneath. Yeah, I found there wasn't enough room for storage, so I built that extra deck on top. That gives me an extra 3 compartments underneath. I can fit about a 50-litre esky under the middle one, which is quite handy. This top deck just here, so that deck's in there with aluminium angle. So it's got aluminium angle across the front thwart and between the 2 side ribs. So if you wanted to take that out, it wouldn't be too hard. Just a couple of screws to take out and a drill, and that'd be all sorted. You'd just be back to normal. Just the 3/4 floor. I've got the floor now in 2 sections. So I've got a section here and a section there. It was only in 1 section, but because I put the extra deck in, I still wanted to be able to make sure I could get down underneath. So you got your main starter motor battery at the back. I've got my Minn Kota battery there as well. Fuel tank, just up on a little rack. But yeah, I don't like too much weight at the front in these little boats. That's why I've got the batteries down the back. I find you get up on the plane a lot easier. You don't want to bury the nose down too much. Plus you don't want too much slap. You can move the batteries if you want up into the middle or up the front, it doesn't really matter. I've just got a couple of little tool holders in here and some rod holders at the back. That's the sounder I'm running. It's a Lowrance Elite FS, 9-inch, awesome unit. Righto, up the front, got a Minn Kota iPilot power drive, 55 pound. Best thing about those is the spot lock, so they can hold position. Can't really fish these days without something with a spot lock on it. Got a little switch panel up the front as well, just there. Right, so on the switch panel, got my navigation lights, bilge pumps, internal light, and a little USB port there. Everything I need on a little boat anyway. That's the trailer there. Aluminium as well, so yeah, it's nice and light, quite easy to tow and get around this little boat. Yeah, I made these into hatches up the front here, so I stashed the anchor in that side, just got a little bit of carpet down the bottom. I usually keep my hose and that on this side in here, the hose and the muffs and stuff. In the middle there, I'll just put a piece of timber in. I can fit a couple of tubs in there if I want to, but at the moment I've just got one tub in there with all the safety gear and just some spare clothes. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you on the next one.